Hello, we're going to do some bass clef note reading. Now, if you've been coming along to Primo Piano, for your level A badge, you will have already learnt some treble clef notes. So treble clef, that's usually the upper bit in the music that we've been using. And for level A, we learnt 5 really important notes starting at middle C. We went C, D, E, F, G. So for level B, we're going to learn some of our left-hand notes. Now, they are what's called bass clef, and the bass clef is normally the bit at the bottom. And these are particularly good for notes going down from C. So treble clef is great for notes going up from C, C, D, E, F, G. Bass clef is great for notes going down from C, and we could start with going C, B, A, G, F. Now, I need to show you these on the piano because I think you'll find that useful. So I'm going to bring up our piano here so you can see the piano down here. I'm just going to move these out of the way a sec. So what we've got is a good way of thinking about it. So normally in your music, you'd have a top bit and a bottom bit. So you'd have your top notes, treble clef, and then anything written on the bottom part, that's going to be for your other hand to play. So let me show you what that would look like. So with the treble clef notes, the ones we've learned so far, now I'm just going to make this really big now so you can see that fills the whole screen, okay? These are the ones we learned before, going C, D, E, F, and G. Okay, so they're the notes going up from C. You might like to try this with me. So these are all treble clef notes. See the treble clef sign? So play me a C, then a D, then an E, then an F, then a G. So what we're going to do now is learn some notes going down from C using bass clef. And here they are. Can you see we've got the bass clef sign? So remember, these usually go underneath. And these ones would be, so this note is the same as middle C. Well, it is middle C, in fact, but it's middle C for our left hand. So, can't quite see that one. Hang on, fill the whole screen with them a bit better. Hopefully you can see it. Ah, there it is. Lovely. So, show me your lower hand now. Play me a C. So remember before, in fact, can we just try doing this? Can we just try swapping between the hands? So this is with our right hand, our upper hand. Play me a C with your thumb and go like that. Now I want you to swap, and I want you to put your thumb on that C, but to go down now. Can we do it again? So let's try going up from C. C, D, E, F, G. And let's try going down from C. Now, a little bit harder to name these notes. So that one's easy, because that's C. The next note down from C is B. Then the next note down is A. Now, then you think, well, what happens then? Because you've got C, B, A. We're at the beginning of the alphabet. What do we go back to Z? What do we do? Well, it didn't quite work like that. If I drop down, so that's a C there, isn't it? And this is a C down here. Rabbit ears C. Rabbit ears C. So C, D, E, F, G. And that one was F. C, D, E, F, and G. G and F. C, B, A, G, F. C, B, A, G, F. Here are those notes written out. So remember, these have all got the bass clef in front of them, just to remind us that we're looking at what's normally going to be a lower part, which so you have your treble clef written over the top and your bass clef underneath. And this is the way the notes work there. So play me the C, and I pointed it. Play me a B, and I pointed it. Play me an A, and I pointed it. Take my word for it, this one's G. And that one is F. There's C, B, A, G, F. Remember, I worked that one out. C, D, E, F, G, G, F, G, F. Now, when we did the right hand, we discovered that there was a pattern. In the treble clef, it went line, 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 and then the D and the F were spaces. So it went line, space, line, space, line. This is going to work in exactly the same way, but in the opposite direction. Line, space, line, space, line. So a very similar pattern, but one going the opposite way. Line, space, line, space, line. C, B, A, G, F. Now, we did a little thing before where we memorized the right-hand notes by thinking about line, 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 space, space. We can do the same here. If it's the top one on that line, it's middle C. If it's the middle line, it'll be the middle note. If it's that's the bottom line we're using at the moment, it's the F there. So we've got C, A, and F. And then in between them, we've got the two spaces. The B, which is just a tiny bit below C, be that. Then that one's a little bit lower down, it's just below the A, and that's one's there. So remember, there's only two spaces. That's the higher one, that's the lower one. But we've got three lines. The top line. Now, this may look like the top line because it's on the top line there, but remember, this C has got its own extra line. So this is in actual fact the middle note. Top, middle, bottom. Just get used to those. Okay. So let's see if that works. I'm going to jumble them up now. Let's see if we can pick the notes out. So I don't want you to worry too much about the I'd like you to try and name the notes, but I'm more interested in you being able to find the note on the piano as a really good starting point to this. Okay. So let's start off with this one. It's on a line. So it's got to be that one, the top one, the middle one, or the bottom one. Well, middle C has its own extra ledger line above there, doesn't it? So this is the middle one. It's that. C, B, A. That one's A. Okay. Let's try another one. It's on a line again. So remember, the lines are C, A, and F. This one is the bottom one, isn't it? It's the lower one. So it's going to be that one. Now, you may think, hang on, C, B, A, I can't remember what these are. Remember, you can always count up from that C. C, D, E, F. That one's F. Okay, little finger on F. Let's try another one. It's on a space. Now, these two are the spaces, that one and that one. Now, the top one is just up by middle C, so it's not that one, it's the lower one of the two, it's that one. It's C, D, E, F, G. Okay, on to the next one. It's a space again, so it's either that one or that one. This one is a tiny bit below middle C, it's that one. It's C, B. That's the highest one, that's middle C, isn't it? It's got the line. Okay. So just to finish this off now, so that's kind of everything you need to work it out, but you might just need to watch this video a few times. Let's just finish off this video by doing exactly what we did. I'm going to let you just think about it yourself, see if you can find the note straight away, or as quickly as possible, I should say, really. And then I'll say what I was thinking and how I worked it out, okay? There we go, I've given them a good jumble. Here's the first one. So have a little look, see what you think it is. So remember, put your thumb on middle C, and the notes are C, B, A, G, F. Play whatever note you think that is, and then try and name it. Now, I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, it's on a line, and it's low down. It's that one. C, D, E, F. So that note is F. So have a look at this. Take a moment. Think about whether it's on lines or spaces, where you think it is, how high up, how low down it is, and then play the note and say what you think it is. Now I'm looking at that note, I'm thinking it's got a line through it. So it's the top one, the middle one, or the bottom one. But it's the top one, isn't it? Because it's above the top of the stave and it's got its own little ledger line. It's C. Here's another one. Have a little look. See if you can work out what it is. Think about the lines and the spaces. Play the note you think it is and name it. Now, I'm looking at that and I'm seeing spaces. So that narrows it down to those two. And that's the lower of the two spaces. C, D, E, F, G, G. Have a little look. Put your hand down. Try and play the note. Remember, think about lines and spaces. It's always a good place to start. And then I'm looking at that and I'm seeing a note on a space because there's no line going through it. And I've got a choice of two. And it's the one that's a tiny bit below middle C, so it's that one. It's B. And our last one, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yes, we've got notes on line, a note on a line. And is it the top one? I think, no, it's not the top one because the C is the top one. The C has its own line above that. So that's actually the middle note. It's that one. And it's an A. So there you have it. So Last little thing to think about, I'll just put them out one last time. One of the confusing things about the bass clef is, you can see the pattern's just the same, but it's all to do with which way you go up and down the piano now. So these notes, I can see two patterns here. I can see notes going down the stairs. So whenever the notes are going down the stairs, you should be going down the piano. But can you see, because we're reading left to right like a book, it's sort of saying, part of our brain is telling us those notes are going that way, but actually they are going, you can see they're going down, can't you, in steps, but remember down is that way as you're playing. Okay, so that's one thing to say. And the other pattern is that when we're going down a note at a time in steps or in seconds, whatever you want to call it, but from one note to the next, you will see a pattern switching between lines and spaces all the time. Line, space, line, space, line. Okay, and that gives us this. So the notes, we're seeing them going like that, aren't we? But that's telling us they're going down. And then we just have to remember that our left hand should be going that way. And I hope that helps. So there we have it. So just to remind you, things, the top part is usually the treble clef. So that's what we have for the right hand, C, D, E, F, G. And often under it will be the bass clef. And at the moment, we're just doing 5 notes going down from middle C, C, B, A, G, F. So treble clef, bass clef. See you soon. Bye-bye.